The world of Jumanji is officially opened at Chessington World of Adventures, and today I wanted to give my thoughts on the area and all of the rides in it, including their brand new roller coaster, the B&M Winged Shuttle Launch Coaster, Mandrill Mayhem. This video is going to be a super in-depth analysis, so expect a lot of opinions on the certain trees in the area and also the angles of the pathway. But I thought I'd make this video purely because, well, I released a vlog the other day. Go check it out if you haven't already. And once again, thank you so much to Chessington for inviting us down to experience it. But in that video, I was very hyped up in the area and I was like sort of running around, you know. So my opinions and thoughts on the ride felt very all over the place, and I don't think I included all of my thoughts in there. I mean, the fact I filmed stuff like this,
going on Mandrill Mayhem, and there's a man with a drill.
says it all. So I thought I would sit down, stand up, and talk about my thoughts on the area and the coaster properly. And if you go on to enjoy this video and you want to see more content and more vlogs and just in general stuff like this, then please subscribe. And I haven't mentioned it in a while, but there is under 1 month to go until Hero All Day, so feel free to donate down below. It'd be greatly appreciated. As you walk into the area, you're greeted by this really cool entrance portal. You've got the area logo above, the world of Jumanji, with Mandrill Mayhem's inversion right above that, and that is such a good way to enter the area, especially if you somehow timed it right, where you walked in as the ride went over the inversion. That would be pretty epic. You walk down the pathway and there's this map on the left, which I couldn't really see because all there was but that shows the entire layout of the area. You then head down into the main Jumanji board game pathway bit, and it genuinely does look like the board game. When's anyone going to play Jumanji in real life with it? I guess we can go chronologically. Big words. As you walk in, the closest entrance to the entrance is Ostrich Stampede off to the right, and you know, I do love me a good SBF Visa flat ride. Opposite the ride there is a themed food truck that sells like turkey legs and hot dogs and stuff. I mean, I only had a cupcake from there and I don't really know the prices, but apparently they're a bit high. But again, I can't speak for that because I didn't see it with my own eyes. And Ostrich Stampede itself has been very lovely presented. The appearance of the ride itself with the ostriches that you sit on, the ride entrance sign. Oh my god, the entrance sign. Oh. And this bit is obviously based on the Ostrich Stampede section in the film. Show a clip now. If I can't find a clip, I'll just remake it. Oh, that's actually made me dizzy. The Stampede itself obviously isn't going to be too thrilling because it is a family area, so it fits its target audience perfectly. There's some little pops of slight airtime here and there, and with the restraints being over the shoulder, I thought it would be quite uncomfortable, but it was actually really comfortable. Nonetheless, it's a perfect addition to the area. As you continue around, there are so many cool photo and video opportunities, which will probably disappear once the trees grow in. There's little challenges everywhere, there's big green and yellow sign on the floor, and there's even some actors around asking you how you would become a part of Jumanji.
What assets do you have?
I think I'm just a bit too idiotic.
We'll brush past Mandrill Mayhem for now because it is the main coaster of the area and there's another ride I have to discuss, so just give me a minute. As we get to the best themed area in the land, the Bazaar. It's a really nice sort of bazaar with games, some challenges, a shop, and of course, Mamba Strike. There is some amazing theming in this section. I feel like a lot of the other parts of the land really require the trees and sort of the pathways as part of the experience. But the way these buildings are built up and the barrels of jalapenos, it just really shines as the best part. And at the end of that street is Mamba Strike, and that fits perfectly. The queue line is a little bit cattle penny because it just goes back and forth on itself a lot, but people off-ride have an amazing view whilst you're actually on it, and it is a decent little ride. And again, as I said in my vlog, if you are quite tall or you're just not a child, you might find it a little bit uncomfortable to sit in the seat because, well, I felt like I was just... But again, the target audience isn't me, 6'7" lanky boy. So with that being said, it is a good addition to the land. But the theming around Mamba Strike and in that bazaar is my favourite in the park probably. And the entrance sign once again, and everything like that, beautiful. Although the sign looks a bit too small for the thing it's on, but maybe that was intentional. Who knows? But I guess we should loop round back to where it started. It didn't really start there because that means going back to the end. Mandrill Mayhem, the main coaster in the park. I meant the world of Jumanji. You've got this lovely arched bridge entrance over the entrance. Although it is a shame that this one isn't 3D like Ostrich Stampede's was, but you know what, it looks good nonetheless. You go in the main queue line and it sort of wraps round to the right, which originally it was going to wrap round to the left by the spike, so that changed quite a bit. You work your way round to the batching area and the station, and that station, you can see it from the outside, it looks amazing. Very well themed, just like the Bazaar was. The queuing system, of course, right now is virtual, so you have to sort of book online, like, ooh! But also the batching system is very unique to what I thought it would be. Because the ride passes through the station at such a high speed and it's sort of a wing coaster, not just a normal boomerang, you actually get held before the station behind gates, and then you actually get sent over once the ride's made its way back in and stopped moving so fast. I'd assume the gates are too low or something like that because, you know, guests might jump over or something. I'm so knowledgeable. Holding guests before the station is going to be a huge pain for the operations, as much as the virtual queue and the one train already is. Just get 200-foot doors instead of air gates. No one's going to jump over that. You sit down on your seat, and this is the bit you've all been waiting for. Here is my review of Mandrill Mayhem. No, don't go that way. But yeah, you launch back, not forwards, so you're basically going the wrong way. It is really cool. Although they never said if I wanted to launch forwards or not. Like, I could just launch forwards. You hop down from the launch going back, and honestly, I didn't even expect that to do anything, but you actually get thrown out your seat at that point. Especially on the front, that's on the back, because you're going backwards, but it's also the front, because whatever. And the spike you go up may as well be an inversion on the back row, because it definitely feels like one. But that element is a perfect start to this ride, especially as you hop back up and go into the next launch through the station. Now, on the back row, when you're facing backwards, because if you don't know, the back row is facing backwards, Mandrill brave it backwards. They're just copying Swarm at this point. It might as well just be a clone. That launch is one of the best parts of the ride, in my eyes. Just the sheer force of it, you know? I didn't think it would be that intense, but it's quite a forceful launch. It's got some good G-forces, that. You then quickly turn up to the left and invert on that amazing 0G barrel roll thing. And anywhere you're sat on that, you get some incredible hang time. It's a great element. Around the back of Ostrich Stampede, it's followed by this little turn to the left and right into the next launch. I think it's the third, yes, the third launch. The third out of 60. Pass over some spikes, which act as a really nice near-miss element, which I didn't notice the first time I went. Had to ride it again. Re-rideability, you know. And after that launch, you then head up that centerpiece of the area. The helix round the Jaguar. And on the way up, it is a lot of fun. I mean, if you're on the front row, hanging there, you get an amazing view. And also, you are quite high up. But no matter where you're sat, going back down, backwards, you get some incredible forces. There's some good G-forces on that. And going backwards through that entire layout is so strange. It don't feel right. Especially that turn back into the station, because that is very forceful. I won't say it again. You come to a complete halt, and that is the ride done. There's only one negative that I will give to the ride experience, and no, it's not the vest restraints, because they were actually alright for once. Hallelujah. It's actually the bounciness, or bumpiness I guess, of some of the outer wing seats. So depending on what side you're sat on and what row you're on, the outer seats can actually feel a little bit... I'm not really sure why that was, but it sort of did it for the first few rides, and then later in the day, it completely stopped. So it's really weird. Don't get me wrong, the ride itself is very smooth and it's not actually rough at all. It's just sometimes you can get on the occasional corner just a nice little sensation of... It was only a noticeable thing though, so you know what, it's not that big of a deal. You then exit through the shop, which has an amazing selection of lots of different merchandise, and then you go off to enjoy the rest of the area. The coaster itself is a lot of fun. I mean, it's probably my favourite coaster at Chessington, purely because of how fun and re-rideable it is. I've already said it's fun, whatever. And it's extremely unique in every row you sit in, because I genuinely can't tell what my favourite row is. I mean, my favourites are 1, 6 and 7, because forwards facing, backwards facing, and sort of the back row forwards facing, but they're all completely different experiences, and they're both experiences that are very different on both sides too. It's a very re-rideable coaster, and of course, with it being re-rideable, depends how many times you can get on it. That of course being because of that virtual queue. I mean, I don't think you're allowed more than one ride per person. We don't know if that'll be a success or not, but I'm sure it will be. Overall, I will give the coaster and the area an 8 out of 10. The only reason it's missing 2 points is because of that queue line and the capacity issues that the ride may face, and also that bumpiness may have a bit of a hindrance on some people's rides, and if not, it might be a bit of a hindrance in a few years' time. I do recommend that you go and check out the world of Jumanji though. It is an absolutely amazing area and such a great fit for Chessington World of Adventures Resort and Spa and Almost Water Park. And also go and check out the donation page to Hero All Day. Thank you very much and subscribe.